Welcome to the Thursday night Soul Masterclass. I'm going to change this so I can see you actually here. That we do every Thursday, usually on our Time to Shine group. So if you're watching this on my personal profile page, and you're interested in this stuff, make sure you jump across and join Time Number 2 Shine Facebook group on Facebook. Of course, now I'm just speaking rubbish. Of course, it's a Facebook group. Of course, it's on Facebook if it's a Facebook group. Mila, if you're going to behave like that, you're going to go to bed. That's your last warning. This is mothering in real life. Okay, you can't go on the phone, so let's sit down and just relax. Okay, just found the remote. Let's start. So, what we're going to discuss tonight is, and we've got about half an hour with you guys, is living in your higher self. So fake it till you make it, basically, is what we're trying to get at, because a lot of people are struggling right now. A lot of people are in a lot of pain. They're in a lot of frustration. There's a lot of anger out there. There's a lot of fear out there. There's a lot of really, really heavy emotions. And because of that, a lot of us are going back into scarcity. So they're getting scared and they're going backwards within themselves. And what we have been going through, and we have been going through this as well as you guys, is realizing that when we get into that state of fear and panic and anxiety and overwhelm and all those horrible feelings that you guys all know too well, is teaching you that there is another way. There is another way. You don't have to be in those feelings. You don't have to go back into scarcity. You don't have to be backwards in fear. And the way to do that is to step forward into the future and have a look at what you're looking at. So the vision that you're looking at from the eyes of your, I call it higher self or future self. So what would my future self or higher self be thinking or saying or doing or feeling in this exact moment? Would my future self be grumbling and moaning and scared and being in scarcity and hating on people? Or would my higher self stand up or future self stand up and allow ease and grace and sit in gratitude and allow things to flow? So I'd love to hear from you guys if this is resonating with you. Please just write, this is resonating, because it makes it a lot easier on me when you guys are feeling what I'm talking about. So give us a resonate with me if what I'm saying is actually connecting with you. And then I'll go on, because I want to talk to you guys a little bit more about higher self and what it is, because the term higher self is bandied around a lot. Most people would have heard of higher self, but maybe do not actually understand what their higher self is. And it's one of those cliche words, I suppose you would say, or those words that are just chucked around. People use it all the time, and a lot of people don't even know what it means. So Ellie's saying yes, creating our reality yep, it's resonating. We're definitely creating our reality, and we're creating it by our thoughts. So this is where our higher self comes in. So our higher self is where, okay, you're saying, sorry, I was a bit late, it may resonate when I hear more. So we're just talking about our higher self and living from our future or higher self. So our higher self is where all our intentions, our desires, and our secrets, they're all well known to ourselves, our higher self. Our higher self is that part of us that is our inner guidance system. It's the part that is separate to your ego or your personality. And another term that gets thrown around a lot and people don't actually know what it means is your ego. So your ego is that part of your personality that's separate to your higher self. So they're two, it's very hard to explain. They're two very distinct things, but they're actually united. We're all actually one thing. But it's because we have come into this human form that we're separating our soul or our essence into two parts. Our higher self, which is our inner guidance and that beautiful light and that that's the ascension, the high vibrational type stuff. And then you've got your ego, which is the pain, the fear, and the suffering, which is what comes with the physical side of things. So the ego is we've made it very, very separate to our higher self. And what we are doing here is moving away from our ego, which loves pain and suffering, and moving towards our higher self, which is the love, light, the gratitude, the peace, all the beautiful feelings that you know You should, well, I hope you know very well. I know very well, but some people maybe don't know those feelings very well. Maybe they sit more in the pain and the suffering, but I'm sure at some stage in your life, you have felt some of that. You've felt some lightness, you've felt some love. Most people have felt some sort of love in their life. And that's your higher self coming through. So it's the real you, the real you. Your ego is not the real you. The ego is the part of you that's not real. The real you is your higher self. It's a very spiritual thing. It connects us between the material and the mystical world. So we've got the physical world and we've got everything out there that we can't see. So the higher self is like that connector between the physical here and that thing out there, because we are embodied beings. Now, I only just really found out what that term means. It means that we are more than just physicality, that we are spiritual essence as well. So the term embodied really gets that feeling of the fact that we are not just in the physical. I always keep saying to that because people get scared of the word spirituality. And I keep saying spirituality is nothing crazy. It's not a religion. It's not a cult. It's not all that stuff that people think. They're freaking out when they hear the word spirituality because they think that you're in some religion, because spirit is obviously talked a lot in religion. Spirituality is just a belief that there's something more out there than our physical self. There's something more out there. And if you have a belief that you think there's more out there than the physical reality, that is what spirituality is. Whether you call it Buddhism, you call it universe, you call it God, you call it Catholic, you call it anything, any religion or culture or way of being, shamanism, whatever it is, it's a type of spirituality because it's believing there's more than the physical. And that's where our higher self comes in. And as I said, the higher self is our real self. And it's really, basically, it's a way that I feel it's a way that we are getting messages through from the realms of whatever's out there. And I'm no expert. I can't tell you for a fact what is out there in the realms, but I guarantee you, I know for a fact there's something more out there than us. And I don't exactly know what it is. I myself call it universe. I'm very much a believer in physics and frequency and vibration. And I know what science, we're all vibrating at a certain level. And if you watch any of my lives on here, you'll know that I often go back to the frequency and the vibration, because what we're doing as human beings is ascending. And when the word ascending is used, it's basically saying that we are moving from a low vibration, which is the emotions of shame, guilt, fear, anxiety, pain, frustration, overwhelm, all those horrible words that I said at the start of the live are quite low vibration emotions. It's proven very low. One of the lowest vibrating emotions is guilt and shame, the lowest. So we are moving away from guilt and shame and pain, and we are ascending, so moving up towards the light, the love, the gratitude, the peace, the hope, the connection. You can feel the difference in those emotions, because emotions are just energy in motion. So if it's like they've all got a frequency, like a hertz attached to them. It's actually quite amazing when you look into it. It's actually really, really, really interesting. So what we're doing is ascending from the lower vibrations into the higher vibrations. And as a person like that's doing this type of work or interested in this type of work, they often call them light workers. I don't really like the term that much because it gives a little bit of an egoic feeling to that I'm better than you if I'm a light worker and you're not a light worker. I feel we're all light workers and we're all put on this planet for the better of the planet. And it's whether you choose to step up into those vibrations or remain down in the bottom lower ones of shame and guilt and pain. And often what's happening is people are staying there because that's all they know. That's what they're comfortable with. They don't know any different. They just know waking up and feeling shit. They know, all they know is being treated like crap. All they know is being physically have pain in their body. All they know is being sick all the time. All they know is being lonely. All they know is being anxious, stressed, fearful. Put your hand up if you know any of those feelings and how they make you feel. So I've got Charmaine on here. Charmaine's doing some the coaching with me at the moment with my coach, Mel Taylor. And we do a lot of this work, with especially working on the lower vibrations and releasing them. So what we do when I do my coaching, and this is why I want to talk to you guys about this live, is we go into the higher self And we ask the higher self questions because the higher self has messages for us, and we are just waiting to tap into those messages. The messages are sitting there. And if we're too busy or too stressed or too overwhelmed or too sad or too in that low stuff, we're not going to get the messages. They're not there. So people often say, well, how can I communicate to my higher self? So there's so many different ways, and you've probably heard of most of them, but every time you listen to this stuff, you might get some little extra piece of information that gives you a bit of an aha moment. So basically the higher self is trying to communicate with us every single day. We're all one, we're all unified, but we have separated ourselves so much. We're not hearing what's going on here. We're not hearing the messages come through. So Katie experiences the lower vibrations often. And then what happens is once you start getting these messages through and start doing the work, and I use that term quite loosely, the work being the inner work. Katie started it. She's doing soul school at the moment. Ali's looking in. She's planned for soul school. She's manifesting. Deb's doing our packages. Jody's on soul school. All you girls here that I can see that are commenting, Charmaine's doing it. They're all working towards this. And you may not be doing a course. You don't need to be doing a course of any sort to be doing this type of work. The inner work comes with realizing first that there is another way of being. And secondly, making an effort to move towards that. Sandy's saying she's been down in the low vibrations, so much better up in the highs. Exactly. It's so much nicer. It's a nicer place to be. So the communication comes through things like, we know meditation. Anything that's stilling our mind, quietening us down, is allowing those messages from our higher self to start dropping in. Meditation, dreams when we're asleep. I get them all the time because I'm a little bit of a person that can get a little bit busy. If you saw my story today, I actually had to go have a little nap to calm myself down because I've got this frenetic energy happening. So a lot of my higher self messages come through in my dreams where my ego or my personality is asleep and down in it's unconscious. So it's coming down through dreams. Ellie gets some weird dreams. I had a weird one last night that I had a hysterectomy. It was so real. I was thinking I was channeling you, Sandy, because I was in surgery. I went into the hospital, had some surgical operation down there, and I came out and I was doubled over in this bizarre pain. I still went and had lunch and I was hobbling around and I'm thinking, I don't know if I should be walking around. It's such a weird dream. So I hadn't looked into that, but I had both my ovaries removed. So there you go, a little bit of too much information. But that's all right. It was a weird dream. Anyway, so you get these cryptic images, you get signs, and journaling is a big one to capture the messages because sometimes they don't make sense until you write them down. It's a really, really cool thing. When you start writing symbols and messages down in your journal, then you can see that, oh, I get it. It's like putting all the pieces of the puzzle together. So, so we're communicating like that. But the big thing I get asked a lot of the time is how can I tell if it's my ego talking, like fear-based, or it's the eternal voice of my higher self? How do I know? And the big thing I probably look at first is your physical feelings when it's happening. I'm just moving my cup of tea. This cup of tea, oh my God, it's probably brewed enough now. It's got actual leaves in it off a tree. My friend Michelle Freeman up the coast has got like, I don't even know, I should lemon balm or something. Geez, it's good. Literally just leaves from a tree soaked in boiling water. So yeah, so looking at the physical side of how you're feeling when you're getting these messages. If you are feeling stressed and anxious and you're feeling fearful, that'll be usually your ego talking. But if you're having sensations like lightness or happiness or energy running through your body, guaranteed that'll be your higher self. But a really cool trick, and I've got my journal here. This is my little journal. I love my journal. A little cool trick is to write in your non-dominant hand. So I should have got this organized before I got on here because we do a lot of this in my coaching. All I've got to do is look through my journal till I get some words that I can't actually understand. And it would make, that means I'm in my non-dominant hand. So by going into your non-dominant hand, you're actually receiving a message from your higher self because it's completely skipping around your ego. It's skipped, that's the word, skipping. Anyway, so something like this: to my dearest soul, which is higher self. Why am I safe? I didn't actually think to check this before I was going to read it out loud. Why am I safe to let go of the people pleaser? That's one of my things that are holding me back. And then in your non-dominant hand, and try this with any question you've got. Why, to my dearest soul, or to my higher self, why am I, and whatever the question you have. Mine says, I can't even read it, so bad. You are full and ready. I'm going on this. You're ready to move on to the next stage. It's served a purpose. Something about being fun or something. Full. Anyway, but you'll get it in the moment, and you'll understand. You'll get these big aha moments before your brain has time to kick in, is when your higher self comes out in your non-dominant hands. Has anyone tried that? And have you had much luck with it? Yeah, so it's a really cool exercise to do. And it's sort of how you can start channeling and in doing intuitive writing. I am pretty good at, not good, it just started happening one day, just channeling in writing. And if you can switch your brain off and remove it, I prefer not to use my dominant hand because it takes forever and I can't read it. So if you can switch your brain off and write quickly without your brain thinking, that's called channeling, and it's overriding your ego, and it's your higher self talking. Hello, Kelly. So yeah, there's a few little exercises and tips for you. But the main reason I wanted to jump on here, and that was just a little bit of context or background as to what higher self is, was basically to have a few things to mention to you guys about how you can be in your higher self right now without meditating, without dreaming and sleeping and non-dominant handwriting. So this is what I do, and Diane and I have been doing it a lot lately because there is so much fear going around. We're doing this a lot, is that we are saying you're getting caught up and you can feel yourself getting anxious, or you're getting into scarcity is a big one, like scarcity. So I laugh because this went through as we were doing our promotion for our 12 days of Christmas. So anybody that hasn't seen it, been living under a rock. Let me taste this. Hang on. Oh my God, it's like pure nature in a cup. Anyone that hasn't been following along at home, we're doing a 12 days of Christmas sale. Basically, you buy a product and you get the exact same amount back in gift vouchers. I thought it was a genius idea at the time. I was like, that's great. And then we went into scarcity. We're like, what? We're just giving stuff away. What are we doing? And thinking, do you all know what scarcity means? I'm keen to hear. Give me some ideas for you guys about what scarcity means to you. So scarcity means, and I laugh because every time I think of scarcity, I feel like that sphincter, like shutting. Everything shuts. Whoop, shut. Oh, we can't spend that. Can't do that. We can't give away gift vouchers. So a couple of people, not enough. There's never enough. A couple of people today bought a healing from me, $140, and they got a $140 gift voucher. Like, how good is that? Kelly Bartel, you're one of them. That sale, just so you know, is still on till midnight, and we're doing one every day. There's a different product every day. So keep that's off track, but that's good. Good marketing, Michelle. Thank you. Well done. You're welcome. You're welcome, Ego. Thank you. You can actually talk to yourself, by the way. So 12 days of Christmas, get onto it. It's on our story every single day. You'll get an email every single day, and you get the amount of product in gift vouchers. But Diane and I went into full scarcity. We're like, oh my God, what if like 1,000 people get on and they all buy a healing? And then we have to give away, whatever that at times is maths. Hey, maths, 40. I'm not even going to do it. 140 with a few zeros on the end. What if to give that much away? So freaking out basically, but we went the first time we looked at each other and we were, what would our future self say? What would our higher self say? And I'll tell you what, your higher self is not in scarcity. Your higher self knows without a doubt that everything works out, and that if you put this out there, the right thing happens. And then the right thing, if it doesn't happen in your eyes, the right thing, it's still the right thing, because it's what's meant to happen. It's what the universe had planned for you. And at the time when you're in it, you're thinking, shit, that was a bad idea, or I feel like an idiot. Why did we do that? And then later on, it all comes out. Oh, who's had that? Oh, that's why that happened. Oh, I see now. I see why I went through all that shit. I see why I was really sick. I see why I have this horrible rash all over me. There's always answers. So it's stepping into your higher self. What would your higher self or future self do now? What would they think? What would they feel? What would they see? What would their choice be? What would your higher self choice be? And it's a very different answer to what your ego would want. Your ego wants to be scared. Your ego wants to protect you. Your ego is the one like pulling the reins in and budgeting, and I can't do that. Instead, your ego, your ego is pulling the reins in and, you know, making sure nobody can spend any money, whereas your higher self is the one saying, you know what, we've actually got this. We've got this. Instead of like pulling the budget in, how about we step up into our power and step into our alignment and step into the vortex and have the money flow that way? How much better does that feel than being scared and anxious about your bills? It's a big one at the moment because a lot of people are losing their jobs. A lot of people are scared shitless. It's a big trust exercise to do. But once you've started doing the inner work, you will find it so much easier. You'll go through a stage where you're freaking out and you'll be crying and you'll be scared. It's all human. But when you realize you can get through it and the other side is a hell of a lot better than what was on the first behind you, it's easier. And then you start to get the signs and you'll know that, my higher self was right. I should have listened all along. Has anyone had any of these experiences where you, scarcity is scared? Oh, I love that, Katie, sorry. Scarcity equals scared. Yes, such a good way of looking at it. As soon as I go into scarcity, and Di and I catch ourselves all the time, Di, you're going into scarcity. And then we say it and we coach each other. I say, what would your higher self say? And she goes, oh yeah, I know what my higher self would say. So have a think. Is there any messages, anything? Oh, Jimmy, you come on a bit late. You'll have to watch the start. Anything that someone wants to share with us where they've been in scarcity and they've turned it around, I would love to hear it. There's so many out there that you can just flip it in like a second. What would my higher self think, feel, do, see, even down to the smell? You know, drinking cacao, Jimmy. My higher self would just drink cacao and know that everything's going to be okay. It's the best. It's so good. It's such a nice way to live. It's such an easier way to live. It's such a more peaceful way to live. It's such a more grounded way to live. You can feel it. You can feel it within you. When you're living within your higher self, you know it. And the more you do it, the more contrast you are going to have when you're not in it. You'll be going to, oh my God, I feel shit happened to me today. I've been so good with my stepping out of the stress and into my parasympathetic nervous system. I've been really good at it lately, loving it, having breaks and not overworking. Today, it all went to shit. I went straight back to what I used to do. Work. Shoulders getting tighter and tighter and tighter. Breath getting shorter. Speaking really fast. Not eating till 2 o'clock. Oh, gotta eat. Fuck, gotta do this. Blah, blah. Meanwhile, nothing's getting done because I'm fully overwhelmed. But the contrast was there because I've been where I need to be the last couple of weeks, and I caught myself and I was like, Michelle, you're in this frenetic energy. Stop. And I put myself to bed. I had 20 minutes before I picked the kids up from school. I was like, that's it. You need to stop. You need to have a break. You need to put your freaking phone away. And I talk to myself like this nicely. Put your phone away. Let's put you to bed. I always say, talk to yourself like you would talk to a child. Come on, darling Michelle. We're going to put you to bed for 20 minutes. You need to calm the F down. Go to bed. Pat. Set my alarm. I'm a great sleeper. 20 minutes. Wake up. Another woman. It was great. So hopefully that helped you guys. I'd love to hear if you watch this later. Obviously, we use the hashtag replay. What's the time? Oh, yeah, we're on time. Hashtag replay. Let us know any aha moments you had. If you have some examples to share with everybody that's watching, love to hear them. Every example of someone stepping into their higher self or knowing when they're in scarcity can really, really help another person. Shannon walked in the rain tonight and embraced it. Now that's something that your higher self would do. I do that quite regularly. I don't even know what the umbrella is, except when you get a spray tan. It's not fun. I did that once. I don't know if anybody watches my stories, and if you don't, you should. I'm going to put a post up to show you how to get onto stories. They're fun, aren't they, everybody? Yes, they're fun. Get in there. Anyone watching my stories would have seen me bolting out of getting a spray tan. Couldn't have been any worse situation. Ran out of getting the spray tan, straight in the car to get the kids to school. Get there, massive downpour, like bucketing. No umbrella anywhere to be seen in the car. And I literally got a fresh spray tan. I'm like, how is this going to work? So I found this picnic rug, this plastic backed picnic rug. And I was so, because it was for the wedding, I think, was the spray tan. I'm pretty sure it was called bridesmaid, and that's why I had my spray tan. So I couldn't really F it up. Had my like plastic rug over my head, bolting down the street, getting my kids from school, phone in hand, doing a Instagram story. You see it all. So jump on there, make sure you check out my stories, and you will see the real deal, and you'll see me go in and out of what I'm meant to be in. So I do keep it real. I don't pretend to be in my higher self all the time, because it's just not accurate. It's not true. Nobody's in their higher self all the time. And if they were, they'd be up in the clouds as an angel. You got up and downs. It happens. It's life. So it's good to watch people and see, and you can see in their eyes when they're frenetic or in their ego versus when they're living within their higher self. So yes. Okay. 30 minutes is up. I'm going to relax. Thank you for listening. As I said at the start, if you're on my personal profile, you love all this stuff, jump over to the Facebook group, Those Two Sisters, time number 2, Shine. We give a lot of content in there, daily live videos, lots of stuff gets dropped in there for you guys. And really don't, whatever you do, forget about the 12 days of Christmas. We're on day number 3 tomorrow. Do you want a sneak peek? I know what how's this? Because you guys are all on my live video. Who wants a sneak peek as to what we're offering tomorrow? So yes, first day was you buy a ring and you got the $88 gift voucher. Today, and you've still got till midnight, you buy $140 healing with myself and you get a $140 gift voucher. And tomorrow, come on, me, I knew someone would say me. Tomorrow at 8 o'clock, you will get on my story, if you buy a set of earrings, see these, they're beautiful. They say rise up. I don't even know. Mila, what do they say? Oh, that's terrible. We wanted rise up soul sister. I don't think that fit in there. I think they just say rise up on them. What do they say?
Rise up soul sister.
Oh, they do say rise up soul sister. There you go. Rise up soul sister. That's right. We wanted to get the logo on the earrings, but it didn't fit. So we had to just get the words rise up soul sister. They're $55 sterling silver. And they're on tomorrow. If you jump on tomorrow after 8 o'clock, you can get them for $55 and you get yourself a $55 gift voucher, which is pretty epic. And you can use that gift voucher on anything on our website, just except for the merchant, our like branded clothing, because it's a whole nother separate thing. But you can go in and get our pack. You can put the money towards our packages, our annual packages, our soul school, our mastermind, any of our other products. We do have a thing that you just can't buy the same thing twice. Is that scarcity? I just don't want people getting a ring. I just want people to try all the other stuff. What would my higher self say? But anyway, get in there, get your product. Earrings tomorrow. I'm not going to give too much away. Just make you watch my story and and check your emails every day to see what the next thing is. But earrings, there you go. You've heard it straight. Hot off the press. Earrings are tomorrow. $55 gift voucher if you get these, to be spent on anything that you would like on our website, including our packages and our soul school. It's a bloody good deal. Oh, Anita's watching. Anita, you got your healing today, didn't you? You got your voucher. Jody's saying yes, please. I'm not sure what that's for. Or maybe the earrings. I don't know. If you want the earrings, all you got to do is tomorrow go onto the website. You'll see the link, but it's www.thosetwosisters.com. If you can't find the email or whatever, if you're doing it tomorrow and jumping on, you don't need a code or anything. You just press link, like you just literally press the shop, buy whatever you want, and you automatically will get sent the gift voucher today on an email, on the same day on an email. Oh, Jody's getting her healing now. Awesome. Well done, Jody. So she's getting in and buying her healing, and then she'll get $140 to spend on something else on the website. Already done soul school, Jody. What's it going to be? Maybe you can put it towards the package. We love working with people for the whole year because we have massive changes for people. Makes me love, 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 love. Okay. Oh, there's my sister. Sorry, no, I can't help you on the live tonight. Thank you. All right. Thank you, everybody. I love you all. See you. I don't know when. Doesn't matter. I'll see you on my story tomorrow. Anita, roll up, get your healing now. Okie doke. See you, everyone. Bye.